Have you ever imagined reaching your 70s, 80s, or even hitting 100 without constant pain, without fear of losing your balance, and living independently with vitality? For millions of seniors in Japan, this isn't just a dream, it's a concrete reality. The country is home to over 90,000 centenarians, people who have surpassed 100 years of age and remain active, mentally sharp, and capable of taking care of themselves. In this video, you'll discover the secret behind this phenomenon, 5 ancient Eastern practices they perform daily that can also transform your life. What's fascinating is that these practices don't rely on expensive medications, extreme diets, or fancy gym equipment. They're simple, accessible, yet incredibly powerful. Modern science has already confirmed that these exercises deliver real benefits for both body and mind. They strengthen muscles, preserve balance, improve circulation, reduce pain, and even promote emotional well-being. What was once considered tradition is now also backed by medicine and scientific research. You're watching the Life Guidance After 60 channel, created specifically to offer guidance and life stories for those over 60. While the West relies on exhausting workouts, miracle supplements, and fitness programs promising eternal youth, the Japanese take a different path. They depend on gentle movements, controlled breathing, and motions anyone can repeat at home. Small daily rituals that, over time, build an invisible barrier against illness and preserve what every older adult desires most: independence. Take the story of Richard Collins, an American who, at age 68, stumbled upon this secret by chance. He'd lost significant muscle strength and avoided leaving home for fear of tripping. Concerned, his daughter took him to a small community of Japanese immigrants where seniors gathered every morning in a garden to practice Tai Chi. Richard was skeptical at first. He thought those slow movements were just meaningless choreography. But after watching for a while, he decided to give it a try. That's when his transformation began. In the first few days, what seemed simple revealed its power. As he moved his hands like clouds and synchronized his breathing, Richard noticed his body felt less tense. His previously restless sleep became deep and restful. Within weeks, he experienced something even more important: the confidence to walk to the neighborhood bakery without fear of falling. What once seemed impossible for an older man who had already accepted limitations as his fate became living proof that aging doesn't have to mean illness. These practices are called secrets because their simplicity hides remarkable strength. They don't just improve balance and circulation, they also clear the mind, reduce anxiety, and nourish the spirit. The body grows stronger without strain, and the mind finds calm without pills. It's as if each movement sends a message to the body: you still can. You still have vitality. Richard returned to the park every day, and within a few months, he was so energized that he started teaching his grandchildren the same movements. What began as curiosity became a lifestyle. And that's exactly what we see in Japan, a generation that has found in the balance between body and mind the antidote to the illnesses that so frighten older adults in the West. This is the first step toward understanding Eastern secrets. They aren't magical, but they transform the lives of those who commit to practicing them. Throughout this journey, you'll learn about 5 of them, each with its own specific power, and together, they form a proven path to longevity. 5 practices hold the key to living without disease. And you'll discover each one in just a few seconds. Richard kept being amazed. After a few weeks of Tai Chi, he realized the secret to Eastern longevity wasn't in a single movement but in a set of practices that, when combined, worked like a true shield against illness. Grab a pen and paper, or note the video timestamps, so you can revisit this later, because right here, you'll learn, one by one, the 5 secrets that Japanese and other Eastern cultures use to stay healthy well into their 70s and 80s. 1. Tai Chi, moving the hands like clouds. This is perhaps the most well-known. The arms move gently from side to side, as if pushing invisible clouds. It seems simple, but it strengthens balance, improves coordination, and gives the body a sense of calm. Richard shared that after repeating this exercise several times, he could walk across the room without the insecurity that used to haunt him. Meta-analyses published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society confirm Tai Chi's effectiveness. 2. Qigong, lifting the sky. Here, you inhale while slowly raising your arms upward, as if pushing the sky itself. Then, you exhale slowly as you lower them back down to your sides. This movement boosts circulation, stretches the spine, and relieves built-up tension. Many seniors report that back pain diminishes with consistent practice. Evelyn Carter, Richard's friend, said that after 2 weeks of Qigong, she was able to sleep through the night without waking up repeatedly. Studies reviewed in Frontiers in Medicine and the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine confirm Qigong's effectiveness. 3. Yoga, chair pose, Utkatasana. It looks simple but is incredibly powerful. The practitioner bends the knees as if sitting in an invisible chair while keeping the arms raised. This pose strengthens the thighs, knees, and hips, helping prevent the muscle loss so common in older age. George Miller, another American who discovered these practices, said this pose restored strength to his legs, allowing him to climb stairs again without fear of exhaustion. Results confirmed by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, and the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity. 4. Japanese stretching, lateral bend. Standing with feet shoulder-width apart, you raise one arm while gently bending your torso to the opposite side. Simple and effective, this exercise increases spinal flexibility and improves mobility. People who struggled with back stiffness found that, through this practice, they could perform everyday tasks more freely, like reaching high shelves or bending down to tie their shoes. Studies published in Geriatrics and Gerontology International confirm its benefits. 5. Conscious breathing, short meditation. The final secret may seem the most subtle, but it's the most surprising. Sitting comfortably, you inhale slowly while counting to 4, hold your breath for 2 seconds, and then exhale gently while counting to 6. This practice reduces anxiety, combats stress, and improves sleep. Richard used to have restless nights. After adopting this breathing technique, he began sleeping deeply and waking up refreshed, something that hadn't happened in years. Scientific reviews published in JAMA Internal Medicine support these effects. These 5 secrets aren't just exercises, they're life tools. Together, they create a routine that strengthens muscles, protects joints, calms the mind, and even helps prevent chronic diseases. Small daily actions that, when practiced consistently, transform the aging process itself. Richard kept practicing, and each day felt like a new achievement. Before, he depended on his daughter even to go to the grocery store, but now he walked steadily, carrying small bags without constant fear of losing his balance. What changed wasn't just his physical strength, it was his confidence. He often said, "I feel like I've gotten back a part of my life I'd already given up on." These practices deliver results that surprise even the most skeptical. Evelyn Carter, who suffered from chronic knee pain, began experiencing relief after adding Qigong to her routine. At first, she doubted that simply raising her arms and breathing calmly could make any difference. But within less than a month, she noticed she could stand up from a chair without wincing in pain. It was a quiet victory, yet it restored her hope. George Miller, meanwhile, found something even more unexpected. A widower for years, he had withdrawn into his home and avoided social contact. Yoga and conscious breathing not only gave his body renewed energy but also cleared his mind. He started accepting invitations from his grandchildren again, smiled more, engaged in conversations, and even mentioned he'd resumed cooking dishes that reminded him of his late wife. He realized exercise doesn't just heal muscles, it restores the joy of living. What's most remarkable is how each secret works together. One strengthens balance, another releases tension, another builds leg strength, and conscious breathing ties it all together with calm. In a short time, many seniors' routines shift from being defined by limitations to being filled with simple, joyful moments. What once seemed lost, autonomy, the freedom to play with grandchildren, the confidence to walk alone, comes back to life. These stories aren't isolated cases. They show that even after 60, 70, or 80, the body still holds a remarkable capacity for transformation that many forget. The secret is giving it the right stimuli. What Eastern cultures discovered is that you don't need to push the body aggressively to grow stronger, just consistent, gentle daily actions. And when those actions become habits, life opens up again before your eyes. Richard summed up how he felt after a few months in one sentence: "I thought I was doomed to age full of illnesses, but I've discovered I can still write new chapters." Those words could be spoken by anyone who chooses to embrace these Eastern secrets. Richard, Evelyn, and George had already experienced deep changes, but no one expected the surprising impact these practices would have in critical situations. One day, Richard went in for a routine checkup. His doctor, who had been monitoring him for years, fell silent for a few seconds while reviewing the results. Richard held his breath, bracing for the usual advice: more medications, more restrictions, more caution. Instead, he heard something he never imagined: "Your blood pressure has dropped, your glucose levels have stabilized, and your bone density has improved. That's uncommon for someone your age. What are you doing?" Tears welled in Richard's eyes as he described the Eastern movements. The doctor, astonished, asked for details. He was witnessing a transformation not just in lab reports, but in the patient's very presence. The man who had walked into the office months earlier with his head down now radiated energy and hope. Evelyn had her own turning point. After years of avoiding holding her granddaughter on her lap for fear of falling, she stunned her family one day by picking up little Emma. The room fell silent, until Emma smiled and said, "Grandma, you're strong again." For Evelyn, that moment meant more than any expensive medication. It proved that happy chapters were still waiting for her. As for George, who had shut himself off from the world, his greatest triumph came at a family gathering. He stood up from his chair without help, walked over to his grandchildren, and danced a few improvised steps. His family burst into emotional applause. In that instant, he realized he was truly living again, not just surviving. These turning points show that the 5 Eastern secrets aren't merely exercises. They're open doors to a life free from the chains of illness that often imprison old age. They restore what seemed lost: health, independence, and joy. Most surprisingly, this transformation doesn't require anything out of reach, just discipline, a few minutes a day, and the courage to believe it's possible. And here's the big lesson: growing older doesn't mean accepting illness as an inevitable fate. It means writing new chapters, rediscovering hidden strengths, and proving that both body and mind can flourish until the very end. The Japanese have already understood this, and now, this secret is right in front of you. When you finish watching this video, remember, every conscious breath, every simple movement, is a step toward a healthier future. You can choose today to become the main character of your own longevity. Because living a long life isn't just about counting years, it's about living each day with health, love, and purpose. If you're listening to this right now, you might think it's too late to change, that age has already brought limitations and there's not much left to do. But the truth is, the human body holds a remarkable capacity for transformation at any stage of life. The secret isn't in painful efforts or impossible diets, but in movements that treat body and mind as one unified whole. That's exactly what Eastern cultures have discovered. These 5 practices may seem subtle, but their results are astonishing. Take Tai Chi, for example. It restores balance and steadiness. How many seniors live in constant fear of falling, of tripping over inside their own homes? That fear steals independence and erodes confidence. With regular practice, that fear gradually fades, because the body relearns how to support itself securely. Qigong, with its gentle motions and deep breathing, releases built-up tension. It creates space for energy to flow more freely, easing muscle pain and bringing renewed energy for everyday tasks. Imagine waking up and feeling lightness in your body instead of stiffness, being able to stretch without pain. That alone can completely shift your mood and your desire to live. Yoga, with adapted poses, strengthens muscles and joints. Many older adults believe losing strength is inevitable, but it's not. When you practice chair pose, for instance, you strengthen your hips and legs, which means the freedom to climb a few stairs, stand up without help, or even play with your grandchildren without exhaustion. This isn't just exercise, it's restoring dignity to your body. Japanese stretching is another precious secret. It improves spinal flexibility, which is essential for anyone who spends long hours sitting or frequently feels stiff and locked up. With every gentle side bend, you restore mobility to your body. Simple tasks, like bending down to pick something off the floor or reaching for a high shelf, stop being painful challenges. It's freedom regained. And finally, conscious breathing. It may seem the simplest, but its power is immense. In a fast-paced world, even seniors carry worries and anxiety. Taking a few minutes to pause, breathe correctly, and deeply helps reset the mind. Those who struggle with insomnia, high blood pressure, or stress find real relief here. Sleep improves, the mind rests, and even the heart benefits. Notice that the benefits aren't just physical, they also reach your mind and emotions. When you feel less pain, your self-esteem grows. When you start sleeping well again, you wake up energized to live your day. When the fear of falling fades, confidence returns. And when confidence returns, you realize you can still do things you thought belonged only to the past. These secrets don't require big investments or expensive equipment. They only ask for your commitment, a few minutes each day, and the willingness to give them a try. Your body grows stronger, your mind calms down, and your life transforms. What you need to understand is that it's not just about adding years to your life, but about putting life into every year. It's about living without depending on endless medications, without the constant burden of pain, without feeling that aging is just about waiting for time to pass. These Eastern secrets show us that it's possible to grow older with energy, clarity, and joy. The choice is in your hands. You can keep believing that aging means illness, or you can start today to write a different future, one filled with health and vitality. The first step is simple: decide to practice. Our channel was created to share guidance and meaningful reflections for those living the best chapter of life, after 60. We're still at the beginning of this journey, and we need your support to keep growing. So please, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and help spread these messages of inspiration.